become sick. With the remembrance of these people, our hearts become what? Life. And sometimes we leave off reading their biography, we turn on our heels. This story is a man by the name of Muhammad Abdul Baqir. Muhammad Abdul Baqir, he traveled from his land to go and collect hadiths. Are you with me, brothers? But they said before that, so he went to seek hadith. So one day, Muhammad Abdul Baqir, he came to a city. He came to what? A city. When he came to the city in which he wanted to take hadith from, he came for a particular sheikh. But then he found some pearls. Amount of what? There were rubles and pearls and gems that were in there. So what he did is, when he found it, as soon as he got it, somebody was outside saying to the people, I lost my property, and they were describing it. So he went and he said, Ta'al. He said, describe it for me. He described it. What is in there? He said, it's yours. The man said, I promised whoever gives it to me that I will give them this amount. He said, I don't want your money. Are you with me, brothers? I don't want your money. And he went. He went for his journey for hadith. So he went to the sea to mount the boat that he wanted to take to travel for hadith. When he took his boat, there was too much tide and the boat broke. He held onto a part of the boat and it brought him to the shore. The rest of the people that were on the boat with him, they died from it. Are you with me, brothers? This is his rihla. He came to a land, the people of the land, they saw him lying down on the shore. They saw him lying down on the shore. So they took him, they clothed him, they gave him food, and they asked him his story. And he said, my story is I was heading to that particular land to compile the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And they said, you're seeking knowledge? He said, yes. They said, they saw his notes. They said, you know how to write? He goes, yeah. They said, can you teach our children how to read and write? He said, okay. Then they heard him read Quran. They said, Allahu Akbar, you can lead. You know how to read Quran. Lead us in the salah. So he became the sheikh of the mantiqa. Then they said to him, listen. He said, now I have to leave. As my journey was to go and seek knowledge of hadith. I appreciate what you've done for me, but I have to keep moving. They said, with one condition. And that's what they used to do. The righteous people, this is what they used to do. Whenever a righteous person would come, they would make him marry, so he'd come to that land again. Like Ma'mar ibn Rashid, he was not from Yemen, but they married him off to a woman, and they kept him in Yemen like that. What did they do? To keep him in Yemen, that's what they did to him. So what they did to him was, they told him you have to marry, and then you can go, because they know he's going to come back. He said, that's not my intention. He said, we're not going to let you go unless you get married. He said, okay. They brought him a young girl. The first night when the young girl entered onto him, he saw on her neck something. He looked at it, he gazed, and he woke up in the morning and the people of the city were knocking on his door. He came and he said, what is the problem? They said, the young girl complained about you. Said, what is the reason? They said that all you did last night was look at her neck. He said, no. He said, I saw on her neck, necklace. And on the necklace was some pearls that I remember from somewhere. I gathered these pearls for a man once upon a time who lost it. And I saw it on her neck. The people of the city started screaming, shouting. He said, what is the reason? They said the young girl, her father was the one who lost the necklace. And he used to make dua that Allah marries his daughter off to the man who found the pearls for him. He now passed away and now you're married to his daughter. So what happened? Pay attention, the story hasn't finished. She died and he had children for her. So the pearls went towards the children. The children inherited it from their mother. And then the children passed away and he inherited the what? He inherited the necklace. It came to him. It became his own possession. It became his. At the beginning, Allah brought it back to him. That's just one story from the stories of the scholars of hadith who traveled. ولذلك الإمام خطيب البغدادي, he wrote a book called الرحلة في طلب الحديث, the stories of the scholars who traveled to seek hadith. And there are many, many more.